Hey guys, it's Anthony from TeamBassBlazer. Just want to make this video real quick. Hopefully it'll be around 8 minutes if I can do it. Just want to tell you guys of what the BassBlazer current progress is and how I got the name BassDoctor and my car audio journey, kind of just like an overview. Trying not to get too much details. I want to keep this kind of short because it's 2 a.m. and I'm starting to stutter already and I'm pretty tired. So here we go. How I got into car audio. I was 15. And I moved from California to Michigan, and I saw a YouTube video pop up as like an L7 on a kicker amp, and I was just amazed at what the one sub was doing to the trunk of a car. Like, it looked like it was getting destroyed. The license plate was like vibrating like crazy, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I wasn't really too much into it though. When I was 15, I pretty much just looked up random stuff, like maybe 3 or 4 times a month. So I wasn't crazy into it, but before I turned 16, my grandpa from California sent over a Ford Ranger, and that was my very first car. And the stock radio and the speakers were going out, so I always liked Pioneer, how they like looked and like how all the reviews were. So I ordered, or my dad actually bought from Best Buy the Pioneer radio and all the 6x9s, because my Ford Ranger was 6x9s or 6x8s. I'm pretty sure. Can't really remember. But anyways, no, they were 6x9s. Anyways, all of them were 6x9s, and I was just blown away at the sound quality. I wasn't driving yet, but I was in the car, and I thought it was bass already. Like, I thought that was crazy loud bass, and like the vocals were so loud, and like I couldn't have the radio all the way up because it was so loud. And then when I turned 16 for my birthday present, I ordered 2 12-inch Visonics and an amp that matched with it from Sonic Electronics. And I had it installed by a local car audio store, Mr. Tunes, for like $50. It's a great deal. And I did search for a long time before I actually ordered it from Sonic, because I looked at eBay, Amazon, and a bunch of other sites, and I finally came across Sonic, and I was just blown away at their deals and all this other stuff. And Mr. Tunes installed it, and I was just blown away by the sound. I thought it was crazy loud, and I thought it sounded awesome, and everyone thought it was loud as heck. But I always wanted to get louder, so I really wanted to get louder, so I sold the subs on Craigslist, which was my very first Craigslist sale, which led to a really long journey on Craigslist, which is still going on today, but I'll continue about that in a minute. And I ordered Kicker Comp 15s, 2010 models off Sonic with the HFI 1000D, and just to show how much I didn't know about car audio, I hooked the tweeters up and the subs up to the amp, thinking that they would just pull whatever wattage they wanted, and I blew the tweeters and they smoked up, and I had to unhook the tweeters, and I actually melted my power wire. So I ordered a 4-gauge amp kit, ripped all the old wire out, and me and my dad's a tech engineer at a college, not gonna say which one just for privacy issues, but he's really good with electrical, so he showed me how to multimeter like the 12 volts and see if it was getting power to ground, and we figured out the power wire was melted, so we ripped all that out, and he actually helped me figure out how to install the power wire and the remote wire and how to run and all that stuff. And we just pulled up panels, and we didn't really know what we were doing, so it took us about 3 to 4 hours, but everything worked flawlessly when we were done. We never had any issues with it or whatever. And that was my very first amp install. So far at age 16, full radio, interior speakers, first sub built for setup, first sub sold on Craigslist, and first amp install I've ever done. So that's all 16. So I still wanted to get louder, so when I was like 16 and a half still, I bought 2 MTX Audios, MTX Audio Thunder 4500s with the matching MTX amp in a sealed box, and I stacked it on top of the subs. You couldn't even see out the back window. And I didn't know what I was doing still, so I hooked the remote wire from the kicker amp, and I hooked it up to the MTX audio amp, and I ran those for about a week, and my dad told me when he found out that I could just daisy chain it across. So I did do that, and so I had 4 subs running, and my voltage was going down. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and all my friends started calling me Bass Ranger and all that other stuff, and I thought it was like the coolest car ever, and I thought it was awesome. And then so all that happened when I was 16. Now, towards the end of 16, I sold my Ford Ranger. When I pretty close to 17, I sold it and got a Cadillac, and that's when I really started getting the Craigslist, and I started selling and buying stuff just like crazy and flip shading, and I went through so many brands So yeah, so this is about the 17 era now. I went through like every brand possible, like Pile, Boss, no competition stuff yet, no like competition level stuff, so just mainstream or off-brand. So I did Pile, Boss, Pyramid, freaking, God, I can't even think right now. I owned them all though. Like I had Audio Band. I can't just name stuff, but freaking, I'm so tired. Anyways, I just owned a bunch of brands. That's the point. So I went through subs like crazy, and it got to the point that I had like 3 setups, just like basic, like 112, 212s, 110, or 115. It was in my garage with a matching amp. I just wasn't running it, so my friends would come over like, oh hey, you're not using those? I'd be like, oh yeah, you can buy them off me for whatever I paid. Now you just have to order an amp kit because I don't have an extra one. I'll just help you install in your car. And that's when I first started installing amp kits in cars. It would take me about an hour to 2 hours, but we'd get it done. And then I started to diagnose amps and amp kits to see what the problem was, like if there's a blown fuse, bad ground, RCA's unplugged, remote wire unplugged, just like basic stuff, you know. So 17, I learned a lot of mainstream brands, buying and selling worth, just like seeing what the new price was and what people were selling for on Craigslist. So started installing amp kits for friends. So just anyways, learned how to diagnose stuff, figure out what the issue was and how to fix it. And then I started to learn very little about competition setups and amps and all that stuff, like Sundown, DC Audio, and I didn't really know too much about them yet. I just knew of them and a couple of the subs and stuff. So that's when I was 17, and my friends would start calling me a lot. Like some of them went to local shops, like their parents paid for the installs, and something went wrong, so they'd always call me, and like it was like a blown fuse, and the people that installed it had the amp gain like a little bit up, or it just wasn't big enough fuse. And I fixed probably like 30 systems within a couple of months, and that's just when everyone started calling me BassDoctor. And then friends of friends would call me, and then I'd be like, oh hey, who's this? And they'll be like, hey, someone told me to call you if something bad would happen with my subs. I was like, oh, okay. So that's how I got the name BassDoctor when I was 17, and I'm still called that to this day by my friends and some family and all that stuff. But anyways, so 18, I perfected amp kit installs pretty much. Well, not perfected, but I started doing them instead of hour to 3 hours or whatever I was doing before. I narrowed it down to about a half hour. I can do it. I did it very fast, very efficient. Everything worked fine. Never had any complaints or anything. Did it clean, zip tied, and all the other stuff. So crimped and soldered. So I really perfected, or sorry if I say perfected a lot. You guys know what I mean though. Amp kit installs, radios, dash kits, door speakers. How to wire subs to the correct impedance. And I also, when I was 18, I also started making subwoofer boxes with RE Audio Box Builder, and I'm not gonna lie, some of them were really bad, but a good amount of them turned out good, and they were actually really loud. And I started getting the good stuff, like from using like cheap caulk products. I actually went up to like Tight Bond and wood glue and all this other stuff, and learned how to brace and all that other stuff. So it improved over troubleshooting, I guess you could say. And then I owned my very first competition level subs. It was 3 Sundown Audio 8s in a very small box with my Saturn. And yeah, so that's that so far. So this next part I'm gonna talk about is from probably the most easiest part to talk about. This is probably from when I was 19 to 20, and this is pretty much where I took all my knowledge. I still do everything like Craigslist. I still buy and sell on Craigslist, not as much as I used to, but I still do. And I still do installs for friends and like help them out and stuff like that. And I help them out with everything now, like electrical, like say something like electrical not cardio related to the car would be going wrong, they would still call me. And still doing all the stuff I did before, just not as much maybe because I'm mostly focusing on my BassBlazer right now. And so pretty much when I was 19, I sold my Saturn, and I got a I keep saying BassBlazer now, a Blazer, 2002 Blazer LS 2-door, 2-wheel drive, and I completely gutted it. I ripped everything out, did complete sound deadener, the roof, the side panels, the floor, had flip out touchscreen Kenwood, hideaway unit. I have door pods now with mid woofers and tweeters, and I have 1/0 ran. I have the big 3. I have the upgraded alternator, cold air intake, 8K headlights, freaking blue doors. Now I custom painted doors. I custom painted a dash kit. Have seat covers and just all kinds of other stuff. And multiple batteries. One all the way around. I already said that. Anyways, I've done a lot of. I probably spend about $2,000, $3,000 worth so far into my BassBlazer to this day, and I've probably been in and out of it, like pretty much living in it for probably about 200 hours. I have gone multiple days just working on it nonstop, and then crashing for like a day or two, and then waking up and working on it again. It's getting pretty close, guys. I just pretty much need amps and subs. But yeah, I guess that's how I got my name BassDoctor and how the BassBlazer is doing. So I'm really sorry this is over 10 minutes long. I try to keep it as much compact as possible. Sorry for any stuttering or anything. If you guys have any questions or comments, just post them below or tag me or something. And I hope you guys like this video because it means a lot to me. So I guess BassDoctor, BassBlazer out. Peace, guys. Good night.